Earn money, save money and buy things. Living beyond the economic cycle is impossible. What trends are dictated by world markets and how does it affect consumers? Watch it in People and Economy. In this program you will know what Global Money Week is, what we should be aware of while taking a loan, and how to raise the level of financial literacy while playing football. To buy a new jacket, trousers and dress or the latest model of a gadget, which seems to have changed significantly in comparison with previous ones, to go to the first night show of a blockbuster, buy food products, pay utility bills and fuel the car, and finally put the remaining part of the salary, if any, into the money box. Experts have calculated that due to hasty financial decisions, people lose almost a half of their wages and often are pushed into debts. As a result, this affects the budget of the whole country. Researchers of Standard & Poor found out that only 1 person of 3 is financially educated. The understanding of market and financial system is necessary because each of us is actually a part of this financial system. We cannot ignore market and economy laws because we are a part of them. So understanding them will make our life easier to some extent. Experts assure us that understanding the intricacies of the financial system does not require at all some special education. Learning concepts of principal banking services and adequately managing our money will be enough. A financially literate person understands the meaning of various financial instruments, be it a deposit, credit, investment funds or compulsory medical insurance. Such a person understands why he or she needs that and what advantages has one or another financial instrument. A financially literate person understands the necessity of managing his or her financial budget, saving money and creation of the so-called financial safety bag. Such people spend their money rationally. They have a certain financial plan for themselves or for their families. Elementary knowledge of how to manage our money properly raises economic and social awareness, reduces the risk of being pushed into debts, encourages the development of stable income sources, and improves economic prosperity. In Kazakhstan, for those who have difficulties with learning basic financial literacy, education seminars are regularly held. Sultanat Abayeva has been working in the area of raising people's financial literacy for quite a long time. She also has a many-year experience of working in the banking sector, including the National Bank. Therefore, she often was a witness of financial obstacles which affect customers of financial institutions on a regular basis. We know that financial literacy also implies financial safety because literate people know how to obtain all necessary information and use it for defending their rights. Therefore, when we were working in the financial sector, we understood that for our clients it was very difficult to understand what to do. So we need to explain it in a simple way: what is a current account or deposit, how to choose a proper bank or loan product, as well as how to look about for appropriate interest rate and how to react on aggressive bank advertisements. Sultanat notes that residents of rural areas in small towns most of all face problems due to misunderstanding of the financial system. Therefore, she considers conducting training workshops in regions to be her primary activity. Working in regions, we knew about many burning issues. When people take loans, they are not ready to bear responsibility of returning them. They do not even know about the possibility of revising the way of credit repayment. For instance, it can be an annuity or repayment of the principal debt. Because of that, the task of companies specializing in raising people's financial literacy is to enable people to choose themselves financial companies they want to work with. Currently, many people believe that if they go to a bank, they will be regarded as beggars. But if people would not go to banks, how banks would be attracting customers? A considerable work is needed. International specialists are confident that it is necessary to develop money management skills from childhood. Nowadays, much attention to children's financial literacy is also paid in Kazakhstan. Financial contests for school children are regularly held in the country, extracurricular activities and seminars are being organized, as well as home education books are being published. In addition, in order to explain to children and students what finances means and how to manage them, the so-called Global Money Week is held in the country on the annual basis. Sultanat Abayeva also takes an active part in the arrangement of this event. At present, more than 130 countries participate in such events. Emphasis is put on the younger generation because in future they will be our financially literate customers. This is a great work which is being supported and encouraged. It suggests the cooperation with governmental and non-governmental entities such as the National Bank, other banks, insurance companies and the Ministry of Education. Studies show that Kazakhstan ranks 47th with respect to financial literacy of its population and outstrips the neighboring countries. However, not everyone can boast the skill of managing his or her finances correctly. According to surveys of the National Fund for the Development of Financial Services, 60% of Kazakhstani residents are regularly run out of money before payday, and about 50% of the population do not have so-called financial safety bag. So when people face unexpected expenses, many of them go to banks and take out ill-considered loans. Only this January, the amount of consumer bank loans taken by residents of Kazakhstan reached 2.5 trillion tenge. According to statistics, student loans are the most popular among cash loans granted in Kazakhstan. They are followed by loans for weddings and other events. Home renovation credits close the top three. The average amount of a loan is 1 million tenge. The repayment term is 2 to 3 years. Raising the level of financial literacy is becoming a topical issue due to the constant emergence of new financial instruments. In fact, modern technologies have substituted traditional payment methods, and internet banking reduced queues in financial institutes. Nowadays, to top up a deposit, take a loan, make certain of receiving salary or check the amount of indebtedness is possible in a matter of minutes. However, even despite the availability of a wide range of financial instruments, many people of Kazakhstan do not want or do not know how to use them. For instance, instead of paying utility bills by means of self-service terminals, many people go to banks and just stash their money instead of placing it on deposit. Experts explain this by people's distrust to financial institutions. When people put their money on their deposits, they do not even know the amount of compensation guaranteed by the state in case of the bank's bankruptcy. Earlier, we discussed the issue about securities. Now we suggest to develop the internal market and to organize the pool of private investors. Unfortunately, few people know what a security is and do not think much about the possibility of establishing a deposit account. Financial literacy is the main reason of incidents of fraudsters. Among them are microcredit organizations which offer issuing a credit in 1 hour and without any documents, or fly-by-night banks which allegedly give interest-free loans, or real estate brokers who do not take remuneration. Fabulous conditions, bright advertisements and a couple of favorable reports in the internet do their part, and people who got into difficulties go themselves to fraudsters' hands. As a rule, such cooperation results in failure. The most common trap is deducting money from a card account. To avoid a sticky situation, specialists recommend to keep to certain rules. If you have a bank card, it is very important to follow some very simple rules. Do not write your PIN code in an easily accessible location. It should be isolated from others. And if you lose your card, you should immediately call to the bank and block it. Following safety rules is very important. Banks never ask you for your PIN code or cardholder's password. And if it happens, it should arouse suspicion. For those cardholders who like to make internet purchases, it is strongly recommended to update virus scanners at their workplace, visit only safe websites, and not to leave their PIN codes in easily accessible places.
легкодоступных ресурсах.
Elements of financial literacy are necessary not only for keeping off fraudsters' tricks or banking service pitfalls. In addition, understanding of the financial market can help to borrow, save, accumulate, and even earn money. Many financial instruments have been created for this purpose. Among them are investing and purchasing shares or securities. Their price often begins from $3 and increase as the company develops. After a while, they could be sold at a price several times exceeding their initial value. In Kazakhstan, this instrument of additional income is only gaining popularity. In order to dissipate people's doubts and concerns about the investment market, various programs focused on raising the level of financial literacy in this particular area are being created. Currently, the Stock Exchange of Kazakhstan is implementing a very interesting project named Simulator, when students are given a chance to earn money at the stock exchange. This project forms a pool of private investors because students are more competent and have a lot of knowledge. Of course, we should support this project and encourage students of economic and other universities to learn more about the advantages of the stock market and reach greater heights. Oil shares are the most in-demand securities in the world. Major mobile phone and computer corporations are the second. Web search engines and social networks rank the third. A comprehensive campaign aimed at raising financial education began in Kazakhstan 10 years ago. Programs of the National Bank are now being successfully implemented. They include television projects for adults and children, as well as interactive seminars for school children and students. Applications for children and books are being developed. A special website has been opened. Trainings focused on broad population are being organized in major universities of the country. In general, we are talking about the necessity of financial education and those instruments which are available at the market. Along with speakers of the National Bank of Kazakhstan, we also engage speakers from other financial organizations, for example from the loan office, who tell the audience about the credit history. Speakers from the insurance market tell people about various types of insurance risks, doubtful organizations which have no license, and so on. Specialists of the National Bank speak on protection of consumers of financial services, refunding programs, and people's most common claims. Such speeches are rather practical than theoretical. Their purpose is to make people see the variety of financial issues and the ways how to solve them. Not only the state, but international organizations are concerned about raising the level of financial literacy in Kazakhstan. They implement world safety standards for financial systems, organize open lessons at schools and boarding schools of Kazakhstan, and even develop computer online games with a financial bias.
Эта компьютерная программа называется «Финансовый футбол».
This software application is named Financial Football. There are moments when a player tries to score a goal, but in order to do that he has to answer various finance-related questions and improve some personal skills. Users of this internet resource played this game more than 5 million times. It is available in several languages in our region as well as in CIS countries. The game has several levels: for children, for teenagers, for students, and for financially educated adults. The game is very interesting and I recommend you to try it. Experts warn that all the projects focused on raising the level of financial literacy are absolutely free for citizens of Kazakhstan, and the information about various events of this kind is available on the website of the National Bank of Kazakhstan and other popular mass media. Financially literate people take much care of their earnings and do everything to minimize their financial losses. In order to secure themselves against unforeseen expenses, they insure their businesses, houses, health, and many other things. Auto insurance is the most popular insurance throughout the world. Residents of the US spend on certificates of insurance on the average $1,100. People in Europe spend €980 and in CIS countries from $50. A loan which is not necessary to pay back. In some countries, it has become a practice. For instance, in Kuwait, newly married couples are given a $240,000 loan. After that, borrowers have to pay off to the bank only $70 per month, and the amount of a home building loan reaches $1 million. In some cases, it is necessary to pay it back. After each increase of oil prices, the Emir of Kuwait forgives such debts and writes off loans. But the truth is that since recently, taking bank loans in this country has become difficult due to the unstable situation in the oil market.